Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today I wanted to talk to you about some things that you have to be careful of. Some things that you really should be wary of when you're talking to people in the cruise industry. Whether it's a travel agent or whether it's an agent, say for a cruise line when you call into the cruise line. Because there are 3 words those people should never ever say. Okay, so when you're talking to people out there, so for instance, when you call into a cruise line and you're asking them some questions and they seem to know to have the answers, etc. Well, sometimes that's just saying things to make the sale. Let's be honest. They're selling a product, right? And they want to sell the product, especially if they were working on commission. But I've heard a few stories out there lately that have come to mind, and another one just happened recently that I won't bring up any names, but here's an example of somebody who is about to go on a cruise in May, and it's a repositioning cruise. So it's going to leave from the United States and it's taking a transatlantic cruise over to Europe. Okay, simply done, right? And they asked the person, most cruise lines in areas now, you don't have to be vaccinated right now. And the person said, no, you don't have to be vaccinated to go on the cruise. And they said, are you sure? And the person said those 3 words you should never ever say. I guarantee it. Well, guess what? You do need to be vaccinated to go on a transatlantic cruise. Now recently, this happens to be on a Royal Caribbean ship. Recently on March, I think the 23rd, is when they just ended that you had to be tested for that transatlantic cruise. However, you still need to be vaccinated, and you still need to have, updated vaccine. Now, you can possibly get exemptions if you have medical reasons why you can't get it, like the old way it was, right, when this was all blowing up in that. But there are still a couple countries out there that are still demanding that you be vaccinated. There's a couple cruise lines out there like Viking that still demand you be vaccinated to go on the cruise. And transatlantics and Panama Canal, you still need to be vaccinated. This representative should never have ever said that without knowing. Also, should never ever guarantee something like that, because it can change. What would happen if all of a sudden, the virus started popping up everywhere again and more restrictions came out? Well, back when I said it, you didn't need it, but yeah, by the time you go on the cruise, you do. No, never ever guarantee something. You can say, I'm pretty sure that this won't happen, but never ever guarantee somebody unless you're willing to back it up. And I've had a thing happen where some people were switching bookings and changing cabins, and because it was a different promo, they ended up having to book under a different promo. And I have been fighting with the cruise line because they lost some onboard credits when we switched to that booking, that they weren't supposed to lose, but they did, because there was a representative who made a mistake when they switched the booking over. And because I ended up switching it like 2 days later, once I caught their mistake, the promos had changed. So they should not have lost that onboard credit. So I've been fighting with the cruise line, and I actually told the clients, I said, okay, they're supposed to fix it, and if they don't fix it, I will personally make sure you have those onboard credits. And the reason I can say it that way is because I'm willing to put my word and put my money where my mouth is. So for instance, say it's $200 in onboard credits. Well, if the cruise line doesn't come through for me, I will go to my travel agency and I will say, look guys, I have this group going on this blah, 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 and this happened. I would like to cover them for the onboard credits. Normally my agency's pretty good, and they would probably come back and say, you know what, we'll cover that for you. In this case, it's a once in a while thing that happens. It's not like it's 100 people. However, if I can't get my agency to do it, I will pay that person the onboard credits out of my own money. And that's when you can say, I guarantee something. When you're willing to put your money and to support your own reputation. But when it's coming to something like regulations, you should never ever say you guarantee that regulation would be gone by then. You can say, I think it'll be gone by then. Never ever say it will be. And I also had people say, don't worry about the weather. The weather will be beautiful. I mean, come on. You're going to this tropical area. It doesn't rain there. You're going to be fine. And then when the people go, it turns out to be a monsoon or, a freak storm or this cloudy weather all week. You can't guarantee the weather. And I've heard people being told, and I actually have seen emails to people who the agent said, don't worry about the weather. It's going to be beautiful and sunny. It's always beautiful and sunny. Well, no. No matter where you are in the world, at some point, you might get some bad weather. Never ever guarantee weather. So I have to laugh when I see stuff like that. It kind of cringes me, but I understand the I need to sell. I need to make my paycheck. I need to make my rent, etc., etc. But it comes at a cost. And you should never ever promise things to people that might not happen. Ever. You can say you're trying to do this. You're going to do your best to do this. It should be like this. But you can never ever actually tell people, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be like this. Or I just guarantee it. You don't need to have that. I guarantee it. Because what happens is if something does happen and the people go back and say, look, you said this wasn't going to happen. And you don't have an answer to it. I mean, can you imagine if the agent goes, I guarantee you don't need to be vaccinated, and now they go to that agent and said, hey, I booked this cruise through you, and you said I don't need to be vaccinated. Look, it's right here in your email. How do you respond to that person? Well, I didn't think. Well, no, you forget about you didn't think. You guaranteed it. So what are you going to do for me? Now, if that person can't go on the cruise, does that agent owe them all their money back? In my mind, you would. In my mind, you would. If you guaranteed that person something, how can you possibly not stand by your word? So that's one of those reasons when you're talking to me, you will never hear me say the words, I guarantee it. Because you can't guarantee anything in life. Well, I hope you appreciate this little update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.